Hi, it's Shawn from anecdote.com, just following on our theme, if you like, of how to get leaders interested in storytelling. How do you persuade them to be part of it? And I guess I just wanted to give you two examples of different groups that have done that and how they've gone about it. Over the years we've done a number of different projects for BHP Billiton, and one of the things that they did early on was, especially around their communities of practice activities, was to find the stories of where their communities have really made a tangible difference. I mean, there was one classic story that the guys at BHP Billiton told over and over again. Whenever they had a chance to get in front of leaders, they would tell this story. And it was around a bit of machinery called a rope shovel. So a rope shovel is the largest piece of movable machinery. It's quite phenomenal to see one of these rope shovels. Anyway, they had one in Octedi up in Papua New Guinea. And this rope shovel was not available, if you like, on the site as long as it should be. It only had sort of an availability of 62%. But at the same time, they had the exact same rope shovel down in Santiago in South America that was available in the 80 sort of percentages. And so they couldn't work out why this was the case. So they sent the Octedi guys down to Santiago, and watched, observed, worked out what they were doing. And the key difference between what they were doing in New Guinea and what they were doing in South America was just around lubricant cleanliness. And so they took some of the processes and the approaches and the principles, and they applied them up in Octedi, and over a 12-month period they had a phenomenal result where they pushed, if they like, their availability from 60s up to 80s, just like Santiago. And this equated to enormous savings for the organisation. In fact, in the same period, Chip Goodyear presented to the analysts the results of BHP Billiton, and he put aside about $635 million US savings that were made for only half a year from these types of activities, the activities from what they called their Operational Excellence Group. So it was having a phenomenal impact, and it was really noticed, if you like, by the senior leaders. But then the key thing here, though, is that the fact that the guys who were running these communities of practice recognised how important it was to tell the stories of which sort of programs, which sort of activities were making a really big difference. Well, the other example I wanted to share with you is another mining company, Rio Tinto. We've done some work with Rio Tinto for many years now, mainly around training their coordinators, their community of practice coordinators. But they also recognised the power of stories. I suppose we've been hinting in that direction for some time, given our interests. And so they put together a booklet of what they call stories from the coalface. Of course, coal business that they run, one of the many businesses that they have. And in that story, they conveyed, in that booklet, they conveyed the different stories of the communities that they worked with, and tried to give not only a value in terms of the dollar value, but some of the intangible values that were built in to what the community was doing around getting people connected and getting them up to speed more quickly in what their work was. So that was another example. So I think that the real takeaway here is for not only people to be able to find the stories of things that are happening in your business which provide real value, but start to be aware that it's the stories that become memorable. It's the stories that get retold, and it's the stories that are very sticky for organisations and for people. So getting people to find those success stories and retell them is the first step in really building that case, if you like, for why storytelling could make a big difference in your organisation. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want more practical ideas on how to put stories to work, just come back to our channel and we'll provide them. Thanks very much.